The FDA's latest drug safety priorities report introduces several major shifts in regulatory oversight, pharmacovigilance, and risk management. Breaking news: the FDA just dropped a bombshell in their drug safety priorities fiscal year 2024 report. It is a direct threat to the future of Kratom. From AI-powered surveillance to border crackdowns, these new rules could change everything for vendors, consumers, and even the legality of your favorite herbal product. Is this the beginning of a full-blown Kratom ban? How will these policies impact prices, quality, and your access? We're diving deep into the FDA's 56-page report to uncover shocking new oversight tactics. Think Big Brother meets botany, the hidden risks for small businesses and importers, and what this means for your daily dose. Spoiler alert: increased prices, decreased accessibility, and fewer vendors are predicted. Drop a comment below to stay connected to this discussion. This fight affects you. Let's decode the FDA's playbook before it's too late. The FDA has been targeting the Kratom community for decades. Some of the regulatory changes have been predicted and implemented by larger vendors, as they are in the consumer's best interest. But our community trust in the FDA has been broken. The narrative about Kratom and its safety was created before any due diligence was done to be able to make any of the claims they have. We've been fighting drug hysteria and propaganda by the FDA and Big Pharma for too long. Let's get into this discussion and get prepared. The FDA's latest drug safety priorities report introduces several regulatory changes that directly and indirectly impact the Kratom industry. Here's a structured analysis of how these updates affect Kratom producers, vendors, and consumers. Enhanced post-market surveillance and adverse event reporting. Impact: the FDA will intensify monitoring of adverse events linked to Kratom, such as addiction, liver, toxicity, or contamination-related illnesses. Vendors may face mandatory adverse event reporting requirements, increasing compliance burdens. Consequences: increased scrutiny could lead to product recalls or warnings if safety issues are flagged, like salmonella outbreaks or heavy metal contamination. Publicly reported adverse events may fuel negative media coverage, affecting consumer trust. Stricter oversight of unapproved drugs. The FDA's stance on Kratom remains unapproved and is classified as a botanical substance of concern. The FDA has previously linked it to opioid-like risks and deaths. New actions, import alerts, and expanded use of import all. Alert 5415 will detain Kratom shipments at borders due to safety concerns. Enforcement against health claims. Crackdowns on vendors making unsupported therapeutic claims, such as opioid withdrawal aid or pain relief. The consequences include supply chain disruptions for importers, especially from Southeast Asia. There are also legal risks for companies marketing Kratom as a dietary supplement or medicine. Quality control and contaminant testing are becoming increasingly critical. New standards are aligning with stricter guidelines for contaminants, such as nitrosamines, microbes, and heavy metals, similar to those for dietary supplements. Mandatory third-party testing and certificates of analysis, or COAs, for products are now required. AI-driven pharmacovigilance is also on the rise. The Emerging Drug Safety Technology Program, or EDSTP, will utilize AI tools to scan social media, medical literature, and adverse event databases to detect emerging Kratom risks, such as pediatric exposure and polydrug use trends. The impact of these measures is significant. Small vendors may struggle with compliance costs, leading to market consolidation. Premium pricing for lab-tested, compliant products will likely emerge versus financially accessible alternatives, which don't always have third-party testing. Failure to meet these changes include faster identification of non-compliant vendors, health warnings regarding vendors, quicker FDA action. Additionally, there is potential for AI to flag Kratom vendors for regulatory review based on their online marketing practices. Modernize labeling and risk communication. Requirements include clear warnings about addiction potential, contraindications, like with opioids, and side effects. The prohibition of misleading terms, such as natural or safe without context, is also mandated. State-level ripple effects. The influence on legislation could be significant. FDA pressure may accelerate state bans, for example in Alabama and Arkansas, or lead to Kratom Consumer Protection Acts imposing purity standards. The impact includes label redesign costs for vendors and potential restrictions on retail packaging, such as child-resistant containers. There may also be reduced consumer appeal due to prominent risk disclosures. Market fragmentation is another consequence. Vendors must navigate a patchwork of regulations, complicating interstate commerce. Industry responses and strategies. Advocacy and lobbying efforts by groups like the American Kratom Association may push for federal recognition under Kratom Consumer Protection Acts or exemptions from controlled substance scheduling. Self-regulation is also a strategy, with the adoption of the AKA's good manufacturing practices to preempt FDA action. Consumer education is crucial, with transparent communication about risks and benefits to counteract FDA narratives. Looking at the long-term outlook, there is potential for scheduling. Continued FDA opposition raises the risk of Kratom being classified as a Schedule I substance, which would devastate the industry. Research opportunities are emerging, with a growing pressure to fund clinical trials that can prove the safety and efficacy of Kratom for specific uses, such as harm reduction. However, funding hurdles persist, making it a challenging landscape. Key takeaways for stakeholders are crucial. Vendors should invest in compliance, including rigorous testing and accurate labeling, and diversify their supply chains to mitigate the risks of product seizures. For consumers, be prepared for higher prices, limited availability, and an increased stigma surrounding Kratom. Advocates need to mobilize grassroots campaigns to counterbalance the FDA's narratives with patient testimonials and harm reduction data. The Kratom industry faces a critical juncture. It must adapt to heightened FDA scrutiny or risk marginalization. Proactive engagement with regulators and investment in quality could secure its future, while resistance may lead to prohibition. So there you have it. The FDA's 2024 Drug Safety Priorities Report isn't just about public health. It's a regulatory earthquake for the Kratom community. Whether you're a vendor, a consumer, or just someone fighting for personal freedom, these changes could rewrite the rules overnight. Here's your call to action. Stay informed. Bookmark this video. Share it with everyone you know who uses Kratom. Knowledge is power. Fight back. Hit that like button, drop a comment. Have you stocked up yet? And tell big pharma regulators, hands off our leaf. Prepare. We need grassroots advocacy. We need to be ready to attend town hall meetings and to challenge the drug hysteria created by big pharma. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of a movement. Subscribe and hit the bell. We're just getting started. You're not going to want to miss the things we're uncovering. Until then, stay sharp, stay loud, and stay legal. This video is for entertainment and information purposes only. It is not for legal or regulatory purposes.